Hey, it's good to have you back here again. Well, it's about that time for the season 2 finale, and I've got something really special planned today. I've got a big canvas out. I've got it all covered with white, as usual. This time it's not going to be dry. I know I did a dry one, but I want to paint this one wet this episode, so I've got this painted wet with a very thin layer of titanium white, and I thinned that down with linseed oil. While I'm working here, the colors are going to be flashing across the screen, just so you know what I'm using. I've also got this little mud pile right here that's just all these colors mixed together. Yours might look a little different after you use your colors. Anyway, let's hop right into this. Let me pull out some ultramarine here. I need to get that ultramarine blue. And let's just go ahead and right up here, we're just going to smack in the sky. That's all there is to that. Now remember that when you paint your sky, it's going to be a little darker at the top and this at the bottom, alright? And we're going to go down, I don't know, we're going to go down, not too far. We're going to go down far enough. That's a good answer, right? Far enough. I don't know. Do you think there's going to be any clouds in the sky today? I don't think there's going to be any clouds in the sky today. It was one of those days where everything was real nice and pleasant, and, well, there just aren't many clouds up there. We can go ahead and throw some more color. Smack some of that back up in here with a big old brush. Remember, color's always darker at the top than it is further down. Because there's all kinds of atmosphere, pollution, and whatnot. It kind of dilutes everything, and particles, and just all kinds of stuff that gets in the way. And notice that I'm wiping my brush in a crisscross fashion. I'm doing little X's as I go down. Little X's. Okay? Just like that. That's how we smack in the sky real quick. Now we can go ahead and, maybe we'll just wipe our brush across here, just like this. Yep. That's all there is to that one. That's all there is to that one. And you know what? I don't know if there's going to be clouds or not, but I'm going to bang them anyway. I'm just going to get a little bit on the 1-inch brush here. These brushes are made with natural hairs, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, and then when we want, we can get another brush and just scrub it in. Scrub it in. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set that brush down right over here. And you can use your 1-inch or your 2-inch for this. You can go ahead and mist that out at the bottom, mist it out over here, and give it a little floof. Actually, where do I think the light is coming from? It's going to come from this way. The upper left. Upper left. Right? That's all there is to that. So we'll give that a little floof, then we'll just throw a little bit more happiness in here. Maybe over here there'll be some more scrub-a-dub-dub clouds. You want your clouds to be very free, Don't think too hard about where everything's going to go. And then while I do that, let's go ahead, mist these out. The very edge, I'm just using the very edge, and I'm giving it that light floof. Floof it. Give it the floof. When I say give it the floof, I just mean, go ahead and smack a little bit of the brush on there. You can go ahead and cover some other stuff you've done too. Maybe you want to go over what you've done. Maybe this cloud is being a bully. Maybe he's trying to cover all of his friends over there. Maybe they aren't really friends. Maybe they're mortal enemies. You ever think about that? Whether clouds have enemies and stuff? I don't know. Sometimes I think about that kind of stuff. It's kind of silly, but I wonder. Clouds have personalities of their own and all that, and here we'll floof that. Yeah, just like that. And that's all there is to it. And you know what? We'll go ahead and throw another one down here. And we'll just get a whole bunch of white up in this business right here. Yeah. There. And like I say, you just do this by smearing your brush and doing all kinds of crazy motions with it. It's not hard. There, that's all there is to it right there. You go back over and, you mist out the bottom a little bit. Give it the floof. Try to follow where you think the sunlight's going to be. It's probably going to be upper left maybe, somewhere around there. Could be directly overhead. Could be. So What this does is just makes it look like there's little pins of light piercing through the clouds and all that. Okay, now we got a cloud-filled sky. So let's go ahead and rinse off our brushes now because they're all dirty. And we might need these big brushes again later. I've got a gallon filled, or not a gallon, but I've got a 5-gallon bucket here filled with odorless turpentine. I use that odorless turpentine instead of pure gum turpentine because pure gum turpentine is a little bit more dangerous. You want to be sure to use this in a well-ventilated area and all that. And what I do is I rinse it, I wipe it on the edge. Well, I bang it on the edge and then I wipe it on the edge. So here it is, rinse. Cleaning off the other 1-inch brush. Okay, get all the color off there. Just rinse it till all the color's off. Okay, bang it, wipe it on the edge. Now show it who's boss. Never gets old. Never gets old. You gotta show these brushes who's boss. You gotta show all your tools who's boss, really. Finally, I wipe it on the paper towels over here. Okay. Ooh, we got something dripping off the palette here. Dripping off the palette. We got a troublemaker over here. And this is one for the bingo card. You know, we got a little checklist of things going, a little bingo card going where, you know, there's just a number of things that happen every episode. And one of them is, you know, one of the colors drips because it's got too much oil in it. Or, you know, I get paint on me, or, well, we can't do the real obvious ones like, you know, showing the brushes who's boss, because that's going to happen anyway. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright. Show it who's boss. And wipe it. I wipe it on the paper towels here just to make sure it's all dry and ready to paint with. If I don't wipe it on the paper towels, it might cause the paint to get a little looser than I want it to be. Sometimes that's what you want. Sometimes you want the paint to be loose. Other times, not so much. Not so much. A lot of times I want my paint to be very firm because it goes onto the show it who's boss. Okay. Alright. Okay, all of our brushes are clean now, it looks like. So let's go ahead now and let's get the big old palette knife out. We need to get the big old palette knife for this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our transparent colors. Now our transparent colors are phthalo green, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue. And we're going to mix these colors together. Because you know what we're going to get when we mix them together? Ooh, we're going to get just the best colors. There's all kinds of different things you can do with these three. This is one of my biggest secrets, and I'm showing it to you right now. You know, you can get all kinds of things from turquoises to, you know, violets to pure black. All kinds of nice stuff like that. Okay. We got that. Okay. Now I want this to be mostly ultramarine. You know what? I'm going to get a little bit more than I think I need. It's one of the big rules on this show is that you want to get more color than you think you need. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I want you to take that to heart. Now see, we got a hair in the palette. You know what that means. That's another one for the bingo card right there. Now where'd that hair go? I swear it was around here. Oh, there it is. A little devil. Getting all up in my palette, trying to ruin my business. Getting color all over me. I guess you could say I got paint on my fingers too, but we're not going to count that one. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Alright, let's get the little palette knife out now, and let's go ahead and make some decisions here about where we think there's going to be stuff happening now. I want you to get excited because we're painting something very monumental today. Monumental in a very literal sense. We're going to paint Mount Rushmore. And believe you me, that is no small feat. Okay? So, because the canvas is covered in white and all that. It's going to be a little harder to make some big decisions here, but I'm going to scratch out a few things in the sky because, you know, we want a little bit more real estate when we're finally doing this. You always want to take off the paint you don't need when you're laying in mountains and stuff like this. And this is a mountain range, so. Okay. Alright. Now I don't want to get a bunch of paint on my paper towels here, so I'm just going to take that little rag and wipe that off. Okay. Now that we've taken care of some business, now we can get down to new business. We got the old business done. Let's get the new business going. My brushes are kind of brushing up against my leg there. Alright, they're getting a little too friendly. We need to keep this a business relationship. Okay. Okay. We have fun here. Alright. So, basically what I'm doing with this mix, this real violet mix here, is I'm going to bring it all the way. I'm just blocking in basic shapes. That's really what I'm doing here. Alright? Blocking in basic shapes. And it's okay if this mixes with white a little bit and, you know, gets kind of this funny color to it. Alright? Now, George Washington is going to be approximately right in here, I think. Yeah, it's going to be a crying shame if I get proportions wrong on these guys. So let's try to get this right. Okay. Now, Jefferson is going to be right about here, yeah. Jefferson's going to be right about there. And we're really thinking abstractly now. All right, well, that pretty much sums up painting. Okay, there's Washington's head right there. We got Jefferson right beside him, and then Teddy's going to go right about to, maybe the halfway point here. Right somewhere in there. Okay. I'm going to get this as good as I can. It might not be picture perfect, but I'm not gonna fool around and get it all goofed up. Okay. There we go. Now we're gonna just take a little excursion over here to Mr. Lincoln. Our next head. Disembodied head. It's so funny that we carved a bunch of disembodied heads on the side of a mountain like this. Yeah, it's interesting. Alright. Okay. Well, I think we might have the general shape down. So that's promising. Yeah, Mr. Lincoln's going to be a little bit higher than Teddy. Teddy's a good size here, but he's kind of in the background. And, you know, old Tom here is looking over General Washington's shoulder, wondering what's going to happen next. He's waiting with anticipation, too, what's going to happen in this painting. Oh, boy. Wish I could tell him. Okay, let's go ahead and make a decision here. This is, you know, sometimes we make mistakes, but you know what? I'm not sure if I'm making a mistake here or not, but if I am, whatever. Just try to get the shape right. Try to get as right as you can. And if you make a mistake, whatever. Okay. Now we are going to do this in layers, but we want to still lay down all this dark color here. Okay. There it goes. If we ever do make too many mistakes, we could always go back in and do a few things to make some corrections and all that. Like maybe right here, there's a little bit of a, we'll say that goes right about the middle of, well, yeah, right about here. And then this one goes down to about, here? Yeah. Right about there. That's a good angle. Okay. Yep. Alright. We're in for the long haul on this one. This one is not going to be, this isn't exactly going to be easy street. I'm going to warn you right now, this is going to be a pretty tough painting. If you haven't painted anything like this before, you're going to find this very challenging. But, you know what I say, you always want to challenge yourself. You always want to challenge yourself, because that's how you get better, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, this is going to have like this little piece down here, so this is going to go in a little bit, like right about here. Yeah. And yeah, right about there. Easier said than done, I know. If you ever run out of color, you can always mix up some more. There's no law out there saying that you can't use or reuse or mix up even, you know, new colors if you need to. Alright, right about here, I think, is where I want to stop this little crop here. Okay. Yeah. There. Okay. Yeah, we got a while to go here, don't we? Yeah, we gotta make up some more paint. Okay. Well, we're not going to be doing the presidents quite yet. We're going to be focusing more on these little mountain bits right here. This one's going to go to about yeah, right there. Okay. Now I'm painting on a painting that I've painted on before. Say that 5 times fast. So there's going to be a lot of texture on here, and sometimes it can be a little difficult to work with. But as long as we keep our eyes on the prize, we're going to be able to do this. We're going to be able to do this. You can go ahead and say that right now. If you have any negative thoughts in your mind about being able to do this, get them out of your head. Because we're doing it. Whether you like it or not. It's happening. It's happening. Alright. Alright, that's pretty nice. Alright, let's go ahead and focus on these little things right here for right now. I want to get out my 1-inch brush. I'm going to go ahead and smooth some of this out. Now the reason I do this is so that when we finally put down the next layers, we're going to put down a highlight and a middle tone. It's going to go down a lot easier. It's going to go down a lot easier than it would if I just, you know, laid it on top of the color that I just made. Okay, now look at that. Look at that. We got some magic happening already. We're deciding on the shape of the forms. You know what? I can go ahead and put my palette down for right now, because I'm just hanging on to it for no reason at all. If you ever get tired, go ahead and put your palette down. No shame in it. If you need to take a rest, go ahead. You don't have to paint the whole thing in one day. Just because I'm, you know, this guy on wherever and whatever painting this entire picture in one day doesn't mean you have to do it. No, it's silly. Go ahead and give yourself a rest. Take a load off. Just watch me make a fool of myself. Okay, let's go over here now. Now, we're going to have some little... This is going to go actually pretty high up into the sky. Okay? So that's interesting. That's an interesting fact right there. Okay? Alright, we got that. Now we're going over, and we're slowly encroaching on Washington's, well, I guess we'll call it his shoulder. I don't know if it's really his shoulder, but it looks enough like his shoulder that we're not really going to think differently, okay? Now there's that. Maybe this curves a little bit. Maybe this curves that way. And maybe. Okay, we got that. We'll just make that way. Alright. And maybe all of his business kind of goes down this way. Alright? And, you know, no shame in going down a little further than we have to. Okay? Okay. Yeah, we're going down a little further than we have to on that one. That's okay. That's okay. Now, I'm going to set that brush aside, because I don't think that we need it right now. What we do need is our little palette knife, little buddy right here, and we're going to mix up. We're going to mix up a little bit of a highlight. We're going to need some of this chrome yellow right here, right there, okay? And then we're going to need just a touch of the alizarin. Now you only want a light touch, okay? You want a light touch because yellow is the brightest color you have on your palette other than titanium white, okay? And what you can do is you can take some of this and actually pull it over in here. All right? And now we just have to pull down our white color. All right? So that's how we do that. And if you want, you can get a little bit more red, but just a touch. You just want a touch. You don't want to annihilate everything, okay? You don't want to annihilate everything. All right. There. Luckily, I think this is a pretty nice color. We can go ahead and add one more touch of white. Because you know what I say, whenever you think you got things bright enough, add a little bit more white. Make it one step brighter than you think it should be. I know you think, oh God, that's too much. Well, is it though? Because think about all the times that you've painted, or maybe you haven't painted at all, but if you have, think about all the times you painted and you painted something and you thought you got the value right. Then when you put it down, it turned out, oh, wow, it's still too dark. Well, this is why I say, make it one step brighter than you think it should be, okay? So you pull that paint out, you cut, you get a little roll, and now we're going to look at some of the stuff at the top here. And like any other mountain, we're just going to let this paint graze, okay? Just let it graze. All right. There it goes. Okay. There's how it goes right there. Okay. And when in doubt, get more paint. Okay. Right about here. Alright. We're going to see a little bit more shape coming into this. And right about here. Right about here. Well, we'll go here. And we'll go here. Right about, we'll say, we want this to be pretty much below Washington's chin, so that's going to be right about here on this picture. Alright. So there's that. Alright. There's going to be lots of other little colors in there too. Lots of other little colors, and we can go ahead and, you know, throw down some more texture on this. Maybe we'll go in and do this too. Okay. Now maybe we'll go and define this. Now I don't want to ruin all the darks that I have, okay? Because whatever I save is going to keep me from having to redefine the darks. And ideally that's really what we want to do, right? Yeah. We kind of want to spare ourselves any more work than we have to. Although sometimes it's inevitable. Sometimes it's inevitable, okay? So we go ahead here and, well, we keep pulling down a few things here. And there it goes. Alright. Now right about here we'll, yeah, that's about right on par with his chin, I think. Okay. Alright. And maybe right here. Okay. And then we'll keep going down. So maybe there's a little bit more stuff down here. There's that. Okay. And painting these mountains. That's really all there is to this. Just painting these mountains, dragging the palette knife, and making some decisions about where the palette knife should go. The thing about stones is that they're very often random. And when I say stones, I also include, you know, all this mountain stuff. Yeah, real descriptive, right? Mountain stuff. Okay. There. Okay. Maybe right here we'll... Okay. And right about here we'll insert a little light next to Washington's head there. Because maybe that's a thing. Okay. Maybe that's happening. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know nothing. Sure seems that way sometimes. Okay. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to getting this defined, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Alright. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and preserve some of this color, because maybe we're going to need some more of it over on the other side here. Maybe we'll need a little bit more on the other side. Okay? Alright. So we'll just take some of that white, pull it down again, and mix up a little bit more color. Okay. Alright. Now right over here. Right over here. Yeah. There's a little something right there. And a little something on that edge. Alright. Okay. And maybe over here we'll create another little doodad. We'll go ahead and put that right about there. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be right about there. Okay. And this one's going to be right about here. Okay. Alright. And maybe over here. Okay. Yeah. Think about like southwestern colors and stuff like that, you know. Colors that are not necessarily going to be super intense, but are going to look a little intense once you lay them down, because you never know what some of these things might hold for you. You never know what some of these things might hold. Here, we'll go ahead and set that down and okay. Alright. Okay. Maybe we've got a lot of stuff going on here. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we do. Let's concentrate here. There. Painting can be very much a Zen-like thing when you start thinking about all the colors and everything that goes into a painting. I remember reading somewhere that Monet thought that color was his day-long joy and torment. Yeah, isn't that the truth? You know, we're always thinking about how to paint things and how to make this that color and make that, that color this and all that business. You can get right maddening. Isn't that so? Okay. Okay. I think we've got enough of this highlight color for right now. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to smear it right there. Yeah, we're going to smear it right there. Smeared. Okay. Let's go ahead and get that color off and toss that rag away, because we got to do some stuff now. Let's get out the big old palette knife. We'll wipe that dark color away. And let's tear off a new rag. Let's get a new one started for the knives. Okay. Okay, there it goes. Ooh, got a little bit of paint on my finger. Well, I guess that one can count for the bingo card. Yeah. That one's a free one. Alright, let's take a little bit of, I don't know. Take a little bit of that alizarin. Actually, let me take just the smallest amount right there. And we'll take this amount of the chrome yellow right here. And let's add a little bit of that mud color to this, because I feel like that might be an interesting color to whip up. If we don't like that, we can get a little alizarin in here. A little bit more alizarin to make things a little oranger, okay? And I'll just take a little scoop of the white. A little scoop of the white there. And I want this to be, this is like a nice earthy brown. This is like a very much orange. It looks a little like a raw sienna. And a raw sienna is a very orange, dark yellow. Okay? Yeah, that's actually really nice. Alright, so let's go ahead with this color. Hold out, and then cut, and get that roll of paint. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now, right in here, where, you were having all kinds of these light colors, go ahead and just, touch the knife down. But don't destroy the darks, okay? Don't destroy them. You want to keep them around. Now sometimes you want to get a little bit closer. That one right there, we should keep that intact. Let's not destroy that one. Let's just keep that one around, okay? I was thinking about how many tones I could make these mountains. Thinking about, how complex I could make them, but I shouldn't be thinking about how complex I could make them. I should be thinking about, how easy can we make them? How can we do these without making it harder? Okay? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question for all. Okay. Alright, let's go in here. And like everywhere that I want that dark color to really show up, I'll be sure to not cover up this dark, this violet color, because that's going to be one of the keys to making this look real nice. Making it look real interesting, this color. These mountains. Remember, this is just alizarin, chrome yellow, and a mud color if you want. If you don't want to use the mud color, just add some ultramarine. Add some blue. Because that blue will get you where you want to go. I practically guarantee it. Okay. We got some interesting colors in here. Let's go ahead and I don't want to ruin anything over there yet. I just want to focus on these right now. Yeah, focus on these little doodads in here. Okay, I got this little string of things going on here. This little string of color that needs to go down here. Yeah. My goodness. It is interesting. Now, we don't have a lot of dark color in here, I don't think. Not so many heavy shadows. You don't want to, destroy all of them regardless, but you want to try to cover up a little bit more with this, I think. Yeah, right in here. Right in here. Okay. That's better. That's better. Okay. those dark colors show. That's the way we like it. Okay. And we'll go over to the other side here. Go over to the other side and, throw a little bit more in here. Because maybe we've got lots of things showing through, huh? Maybe. Let's go ahead here. And, you know what I'll do. I might want to scratch out a few things in there. Because maybe I want to do this. Yeah. That's what we call a maverick move. A maverick move. Wasn't that cool? Yeah, that was cool. Alright. Okay. Yeah, this is just that same color that we whipped up. Going down in here, maybe. Maybe there's less of this highlight color in here. So, we'll preserve a little bit more of that violet base right here. Okay. And, like I say, go in, just touch that color in with a few things that you've done. And maybe over this way, we've got this. If you want, you can turn the knife upside down. You can turn it any which way. There's no rules when you're painting like this, Nope. Not a one. You can paint your painting however you want. It's one of the best parts about painting. So you don't have to worry about all those little rules and everything that everyone has. This is your world. You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Yep. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to get too concerned with the shape of all this. Maybe I just want to throw in some of these things that I've done, and we can go back and do whatever we want later too. Oh, look at that. Well, look at that. Oh, that's actually kind of fascinating. This isn't necessarily the way that the mountains look, but if we're moving fast, sometimes we have to take a few shortcuts in order to get a piece done a little faster. So that's what I do here. I take a few shortcuts, admittedly, to go ahead and, show you how you can paint things, but not how you have to. If you're painting this all by yourself, you can go ahead and, spend as much time as you want on it, and drive yourself crazy painting all kinds of little details, but we don't have the convenience of that kind of time right now, because I still got to paint a bunch of faces. And let me tell you right now, painting faces is no easy feat. Let me set that right there for right now. Let's get the big old brush out. You guys, you know what this big old brush is all about. Yeah, this big old brush, he likes to go in and just make a mess of things sometimes. Well, he really didn't make a mess of things that time, did he? No, not so much. Here. There he goes. He went in there and made a mess of that. It's the sound of mountains forming right there. Okay. Yeah, we can kind of just go in and form the stones, can't we? Yeah. We don't want to do that too much with the round brush. I want to just shape those a little bit. Okay. Oops. Well, that's another one for the old bingo card. I knocked my palette against the easel there and got a little bit of paint on things. Uh-oh. There's a little bit of that color there that I'm using. Should I clean it off? Let's not even bother. We're just using up time now. Okay. Let's go ahead in here and, well, let's pick up our slack a little bit. So right in here, I think I'm gonna use another color that's maybe Well, maybe let's go ahead and create a new color here with the gray, that green-gray color. Now, don't get your paint too close to your shirt here, or too close to the edge of the palette. Otherwise, you might find yourself, you know, not so happy later when you start mixing color. Okay, we'll go in there and get that. And that's going to look real nice, I think. Okay. Now we're looking for kind of we're looking for a color that has a little bit more red in it there. Maybe a little bit more blue. Yeah. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out my big old palette knife for this one. I'm going to wipe off the remainder of that base color over there. I'm going to put it on the knife. And we got a lot more color to create here, because we got to get in the rest of our monument. Okay, so let's go ahead, pull a lot of alizarin in there, and a little bit of the ultramarine, a little bit of that phthalo. Okay, and you want this to be mostly alizarin. Okay, I'm going to pull down a little bit more, pull down a little bit more, pull down a little bit more, times 3. Okay, and man, imagine going up to this thing and look at the sheer size of it. Sometimes I think about that, things like that. Fascinating it must be to go up there and see these things for real. Now, I have seen this for real, so I can tell you it is quite a fantastic sight. Controversial one for a number of reasons that I won't really get into right now, but it is fascinating to look at. More fascinating to try and paint. Isn't that the truth? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Let's go ahead now and let's go ahead and get our dark brush over here. Now we're gonna start pulling down all this paint here, because again we want it to be smoother. We want it to be a little smooth. Let me make sure that I don't have that. Okay. Yeah, Teddy's got kind of a flat head, doesn't he? A little bit. A little bit. Yeah. There it goes. Okay. We'll just work this color down into all these areas here. You know, if we overshoot it a little bit, it's okay, because we're going to cover up with a few things. The hard part is really capturing the monument naturally. So, if we can capture the monument, we will be golden. That. There lies the rub, though. Capturing the monument. Whew. Tougher words have never been spoken on this show. Have they? I don't know. There's going to be a little mound down here, right about where Teddy's head is. It's going to be a mound that's going to extend right about here. Okay? And it's going to go right about up to here. Okay. Right about past Washington's head a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right. There it goes. There it goes. There. Just a little bit of showing it who's boss to get that right there. Okay. There goes. And okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and give this a shot, shall we? Let's go ahead and clean off this knife. This big old knife is going to be doing us a huge solid on this painting. Going to be doing us a big favor. All right. Going to be doing us a big favor. Okay, let's go ahead now. I want to go ahead with some of my color that I got here that I'm gonna take a little bit more of this alizarin here, and more of this color right here, the ultramarine, maybe a little bit of the green. All right, I'm gonna get some white in there to really get it going. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, take some chrome yellow there, just to take out some of the joy in that. Okay. Take a little bit more of the chrome yellow in there. Yeah. You want to get a lot of color there. A lot of color. Okay. And a little bit more white. There. And maybe just a scotia blue. Just a smidge of that blue. How's that look against that? Yeah, it looks pretty decent. And you know what I say? Always make things a little brighter. Are we using a lot of the white right now? Sure. Do we need to? Yeah, probably. Okay. And that's the color we're going to need to get the rest of our painting here. That's our middle tone. Alright? Alright. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead now and take some of the chrome yellow, a little bit of the alizarin, okay, and just a touch of that mud color, maybe a little bit more of the alizarin right there, okay. There. That's the way we want to go. I'm not pulling it through the paint this time because I need a lot more than I was getting. Now I realize that. And then, now we've got this. We'll go ahead and give it one more go. Alright? And now we'll have about what I think we'll need. Okay. That's a good amount of color right there. Alright. Let's go ahead now and pick a spot where we think Washington's chin is going to be, right about in here, okay? Do I think his chin's going to be right there, or do I think it's going to be right about, here? Ooh, picking out little spots and just making some decisions. I know, that's what this is all about, okay? About in here, right about in there. I'll say, well, his collar is going to be right about here, you know? Okay. In fact, I might need my round brush for this one. Yeah, I might need my big old round. My big old round for this. Here. Let's go ahead and get some paint on that. Get some odorless turpentine on it. Okay, so that's going to go that way. And this is going to go down to about, ooh, yay height. No, yay height. I'm doing real exact measurements here. Here, right about, ooh, here is where the end of his jacket's going to be, I think. We'll go ahead right this way. And curve it down a little bit. Okay. And now we'll add a little bit of the white there. Or that bright color, I should say. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just kind of blend those together. And this can, there that goes. Okay. We'll take this down to about here. Right here to right, oh, there. Okay, yeah, that's about the extent of the other part of Washington's look right there. Yeah, got a lot of things going on here, a lot of little things. Okay, there's that. Now we're gonna say, take it to about there and there. All right. So we got a lot of Washington all made up now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, we got this. Let's go ahead now. Let's go ahead and paint in his jawline. All right. Okay. Now right about there. Here. This is going to require some intense concentration, I think. We're going to need, his nose is going to be right about here. And if we have to repaint something, that's totally fine. Right here is his head. Whew. I know, hooting like an owl. There's another one for the bingo card, right? Yep. Okay. Now we might need to get even more up close and personal with a liner brush. Okay. Alright, we got a liner brush now. Now things are going to get really, really heated. Alright, so we got his eyes are going to be, well, his eyes are going to be right about here. Okay. His eyes are going to be right about there. And his nose is going to go down to about here. Okay. Okay, we got his nose, the length of his nose right about right. And now his lip That's not quite right, but okay. We're going to get those cheeks right there. Okay. Okay. There. Now, let's see where their highlights are. We'll go in here, and then there's going to be a couple of highlights right here for the hair, and over here again for his hair. That's a little bit more than I intended to get. Okay. Now we'll take that right up in here. Maybe there's maybe there's a little bit of a shadow underneath his eyes. I think it would be a good idea to go back in with some of our darks and our mid-tones here. Okay. Give that a little hummingbird like that. Okay. Make sure I got no paint on myself. Now let's go into some of this middle tone color. And let's decide further on the shape of his face. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's take let me whip a little bit of that. Okay. Let's round that up in our dark color. Just roll the liner brush through if you need some more of the dark color there. Okay. Alright. And we'll get these eye sockets just right. He's got a real look of concern on his face. That's what I think here. Like he's worried about the nation that he's passing on to the next president. Which would make sense. I mean, if he were the first president of the United States, you might be a little worried too about what's going to happen later. Though maybe he's not so concerned. Maybe he's just a little stern. Okay. Yeah. Like I say, painting this is no small feat right here. Okay. Let's get right here. Let's get that right there. And then about right here. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay, we got that. Let's go ahead right here. And right here. Because maybe. Maybe we need a little bit more of this middle tone going in here. Maybe we need a little bit more of the middle tone going in here. Okay. Okay. Now, let's try it again. And let's not make him look so worried, you know? Maybe our founding father is less worried and more stern. There. Because if you look at Washington, he's got a little bit of a haughtier kind of appearance to him than a worried one. It's not really the look of a worrywart. It's the look of a guy that says, hey, I did my duty. Okay. Alright. And then down below, underneath that, will be the nifty little highlight. Here's what I think I'll do. I'm going to take some of this middle tone right here, and I'm going to go across his upper lip. Alright? And then there's going to be a little bit of a middle tone below his, below right there. And maybe I'll take his lip a little further, his bottom lip a little further this way, and give him a little bit more of that chin. Okay. That's the way. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Let's use some of this dark color here to shape his nose so that shape his eyes. Because maybe he's got kind of a sleepy look to his eyes here. Maybe there's, I don't know if sleepy is the best way to really portray his eyes, but it's kind of the vibe I get here. We'll cover up some of that area down here with dark paint. Alright. That's good. And we'll very delicately and we'll get the other eye just like this. Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Here. Take some of this color and get it right in there. Because, you know, Washington's a monument. He's a stone. Well, he wasn't, but he is now. And it doesn't hurt to make him look a little bit more like stone where we can. Okay? Maybe down in here. In between all this, we've got here. Let's set the liner brush aside because it's not really equipped for, you know, bigger details. The liner brush is better for delicate stuff like faces. Actually, I don't want a flat brush. I want my little round. Let's get the little round. Okay. And we got the little round here. Little round. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, we're just gonna get some paint in there. That's what we're gonna do. And we're not gonna worry too much about what comes next in those areas, because these areas are a little bit more indistinct on purpose. Okay. All right. Now I don't want to, you know, do all these areas here with this kind of color or this kind of style of painting where I'm using the round brush to fill in the blanks here. I really need to focus. Uh-oh, did I get a little bit of paint on the edge? Yeah, I guess I did. Whatevs. Here, let's take some of this and just, you know, throw it in right down there. Alright, that's about enough on Mr. Washington. Why don't we go ahead now and take a look over at maybe Mr. Jefferson. Yeah. One more little detail right in here. There he goes. There you go, Mr. Washington. Okay, Mr. Jefferson, how you doing? Well, me? Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. I'm currently painting your head. Did you know that? Well, if you didn't, you sure do now. And I can't promise you're going to be very fine with my portrayal, but I will give it my all. Isn't that all we can ask? Now, it doesn't hurt to leave a little bit of value, you know, in between Washington and Jefferson's head here. Alright. Okay. Alright. We need more medium. Just run it through that medium and get what you need to. Now I'm going to pretend that right about here, Jefferson's eyes are going to be right about it, right there. Maybe the other one's going to be right about here. Okay. And those are just a couple little guideline things that I make up. Alright, nose is going to be right about, ooh, right about here on him. Now, if I didn't get the eyes quite right, it's okay. Because I'm going to go back in and try some stuff. Okay. There it goes. What do you say we try to get his chin here? His chin is going to be right about there. Okay. Okay. We got it. We got this. Sure. We got this all right. Okay, right about there. I think is where. Yeah, we're just blocking in some shapes for his face right now, aren't we? Yeah, we are. And that's okay. That's okay. This is one of those things that you want to try not to rush through. Yeah, this is one of those times where you should, do as I say and not as I do. Because very clearly I'm just kind of rushing through it. And okay. Alright. Let's get some more of that other color that we need. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and set our paper towel on its side so we can wipe that paint. Okay. Now right here. Right here. Okay. There it is. And Mr. Jefferson, let's go ahead and get the rest of your face here. I want to get your nose just right, which, as you know, is easier said than done. Yep, it sure is. Whew. Alright, right here, let's go ahead and maybe do a little cross here. Yeah. There it goes. And maybe right here. Maybe right here. Well, yeah. Okay, right next to his face is going to be a tuft of hair. Alright, because, men had different hairstyles back in that day. They looked a little, well, stranger. I figured that the orbital bone here was a little too big, so this is okay. Let's go to the other side here and take a gander at that. Just a little bit, Okay. A little bit. All right. Here, I know what I want to do. Right about here is where the rest of Washington's jacket is going to be. Okay. So if we bring his shoulder over here, right to about the edge right there. Okay. That's looking pretty nice. Okay. You know what? We could probably go ahead and that's good. Okay. Let me rehabilitate a little bit of Mr. Jefferson's head right here. Tom, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to get it 100% right the first time around. So, apologies if you thought that I was going to be, a master. I'm sure there's plenty of people who painted your portrait back in the day who got it a little closer than like I did just now. Okay. Ooh, we still got a lot of white paint on there. Oh, this little liner brush really does all the work that we can throw at it, can it? You gotta be gentle with it though. You don't want to toss it around too much or else it'll give up on you. Okay. All right in here. Right here. Right about here. That's probably about good. We can go ahead, take some of that light color, throw it down here, and then in here. Let's bring this guy right over here. Okay. Let's bring that this way. Okay. And we'll go into our dark color and pull it down a little bit. And right about there, we'll pull the face or pull the mouth over this way a little bit. Okay. And right here. Okay. Right here is where I want that to be. And maybe okay. Get into this paint right here. Maybe there's a little bit more of a maybe right over here. A little bit more to his face there. Okay. Now let's go ahead with that dark color. And decide right here. Maybe the hair comes down closer to his face. Alright? And maybe he's got a slightly more chiseled look right here. Okay. Let's bring this over here. And his face can go right there. Or his eye, rather. Whew. Goodness gracious. Take a little bit more of the dark color there. Okay. There he goes. Well, Mr. Jefferson, I think it's about time to move on because we've spent a lot of time on you right now. So, let's go over to Mr. Roosevelt. Teddy. Teddy. Okay, Teddy. I'm not sure how we should go about this, Teddy. Well, I guess we'll just paint your face like we would anyone else's. Start with the lights and take it from there. Okay? So let's say we stop right here and we try to model his head. Right in here, is where all his face is. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. We'll paint his nose right there. And his mouth can go right here. Well, his mustache. He's got a funny looking mustache on his statue. And he's got a little lip down below there. And a chin that stops at right about yay high. So, if we've got that, let's paint the chin. Okay. And then let's give him a lip. And finally, mustache. Okay. Okay. We've got the mustache. Now we'll get the curve of the upper lip. Or I guess just the curve of him. About right here. Okay. Kind of slopping this on right now. Okay. His brow is going to be about where Jefferson's chin is. Okay. So we've got that to work with. And there's going to be a little bit of a... His eye is going to be in heavy shadow. We're going to go all the way up to his nose with this. Okay. And right here. All right. And we got his brow detailed here. Okay. So right here, let's go ahead and put some detail in regarding Teddy's hair. Okay. We got that. We got that. All right. Okay. Easier said than done, I know. Easier said than done. Okay. So we got this right here. Right about like that. All right. Okay. Oops. Too much light color. Too much light color. I can get a little bit more of my dark mix here with some of that alizarin and ultramarine blue and phthalo green. Alright, if I need to, I can get that. Alright. Okay. You want to remember to run your brush through that dark color if you need to. If you need to. Okay. Now Teddy has more of a furrowed brow than old Washington did. And let's see, his is going to curve right this way. Yeah, we can kind of see his shape starting to take shape. His face starting to take shape here. I love it when I get my words twisted. Is that one for the bingo card? I think we can add that for the bingo card. I think that'd be a fun addition right there. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add, this little mid-tone color here. And if you want to make your colors a little bit more complex, you go ahead and do that. You go ahead and do that because you can make your paintings as complex as you want. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing. Remember, I'm just showing you how you can paint. But this is a pretty good way to do it. You want to try to model their heads, and you want to do it with as few colors as possible. You don't want to spend all your time doing that. Because as you can see, it takes a very long time to get colors and such just right. Right about here. right about here is where Teddy's nose is going to be. All right. That's about where his nose will be. All right. Okay. Put some of that in there because this is stone. This is stone after all. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll go into our mid-tone mix. And we'll just kind of adjust this so that Teddy's mustache is very visible. All right. There, we got this. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more to the mustache over here. The mustache is gonna, sometimes you miss having a president with a mustache. I think a mustache adds a lot. There. There it goes. Give that a little rinse. Wipe it off a little bit. And let's see what we can do with this dark color with the alizarin, the blue, and the phthalo green. There's going to be a little bit of an angle on his brow right here. So let's try to capture that. Take some of the blue here. Take some of the blue. Get that dark color mixed up, and we'll go in here. And we'll go across. And that'll be about that. Okay. How much more do we have to do to get Teddy? Well, I think we've gotten a lot of them. We could maybe just add a couple of touches here and there. Maybe up in here we'll get a little of that. And maybe for the nose we'll, well, let's clean off this brush a little bit. Okay. Alright. Let's clean it off and get a little alizarin and phthalo green, ultramarine again. Right about here we can give the nose a little bit of an upward tilt. Maybe we can make sure everything's at a little bit of an angle, because maybe it's not at enough of one. Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Okay. Say that we'll... Okay. here. Okay. And we'll just get some of that right on Teddy's brows. Okay. And maybe we'll get some of his face right there. Okay. Okay. I think we got things pretty well defined over here. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Now for what looks like these rocks over here, let's take some of this. Well, we'll set that down right there. That's just a color we're going to use later. Let's take some of this bright color here. Not too much of it. And now let's go ahead with our round brush and get a few things over here. Maybe right next to Teddy's eye. We got some things we got to get. Namely, we got to spruce things up here so that when we finally get to Lincoln, you know, he's not going to be screaming bloody murder because we didn't get all the things in the background right before we got to him. Okay? Now, you can get fairly close to these guys without ruining your stuff. Okay? And if you do ruin your stuff, you know, you can always go back in. You can always go back in and go ahead and do some stuff, you know. You can put those darks back in if you lose them. Did you know that? Yeah, you can do that. You don't have to worry at all if you accidentally screw up a painting. Okay? Now look at that. Look at that. We've got most of what we need done there with just that color. That's how easy it is to do. Paint mountains like this, you know. Like I say, the hard part is, well, the presidents here, the dead presidents. Okay. There it is. We'll go on with this kind of orangey stone color here and get some of these colors. Why not? Maybe Teddy's got one down here too. Teddy's got a little bit of that in his chin. Along with this. Okay. And I do got a little bit of that. What the heck? Alright. Then maybe, you know, we're going in here. Okay. Okay. And it goes all the way down here. It almost looks like a waterfall, doesn't it? Yeah, it almost does. Kind of fascinating how that turns out. Okay. What do you say we go in here and we'll model Honest Abe? Honest Abe, how honest can I make you look? I don't know. By the time I get done with him, he might look like a big fibber. Alright. Okay. Now up in here, we might go to about right there. You know, if we didn't go far enough over on this side, we can always just add a little bit, because who's going to know the difference after we're done? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fortunately, we still have lots of light color left, so we can go ahead and get Abe's head in order. And his head is going to go to right about here. Okay. His eye is going to be about right on par with Teddy's. He's actually going to be closer, okay? Let's go ahead here and just... Yeah. And maybe he's... Since Abe has kind of a Frankenstein look, maybe he's going this way and... There. Is that about right? Is that about right? Ooh, I don't know. Let's... There. Okay. That's about right on Abe. Now, Abe has got his nose bridge right about... Ooh, right about here. Yeah, right about there. And his nose is going to go right about to... Yeah, right about where Teddy's was. And I'm going to paint some of that in there. We're going to model his face a little bit, and we'll take him down here. Because maybe he's just got a slight bit of his face poking out there. If it's too much, you can cover it up. I mean, you can cover up anything. Alright. There it goes. Now remember that Abe has some lines in his face, you know? We'll say that he's got lines that go about this way. Alright? Okay. And he's got lines that go about that way. And then he's got a lip. You know, we can't forget the lip. The lip is going to be right about, ooh, it's going to be a little bit above Teddy's. Man, he doesn't look happy, huh? It's like someone forgot to give him breakfast. Yeah. Yeah, it sure does. Honest Abe might be honest, but he don't look happy doing it. He looks like he could use a few kickbacks from the government. Ah, dear. He could use some of that modern government money that they got paying all those Congress people. Yeah. Okay. Man, he looks surly, doesn't he? A little bit. A little bit. I hope Abe doesn't get mad at me. He's probably a little mad. I read somewhere that Abe was we all know Abe was a wrestler, but I read that he invented the choke slam, which kind of took me aback. I mean, was Abe a professional wrestler or something? I didn't think professional wrestling existed for all that long, but maybe it did. I don't know. What do I know? Okay. All right, we got a little face here for Abe. All right. Okay, we got that light color on there. Alright. Alright. So let's go ahead now with this little color here. And we'll give him a little bit of pep. We'll give him a little bit of pep. Okay, so his face is going to start right about there. Yep. And his cheekbone is going to go right about in here. Alright. And maybe we got hair that's going on up here, so we'll throw this violet color, this kind of stony violet up there. And since his head has got a little bit of that Frankenstein thing, we'll throw some more of that stony violet up in here on that side. There it goes. Okay. And maybe he's got something right here that he needs. I don't know. We won't get in the way of his cheekbones, though. Those things are sharp. They'll cut you. They'll get you good if you're not careful. Okay. Liner brush has done quite the service for us today, but we need to get going here, so let's go ahead and get some more of our dark color mixed up. You know what we're doing. You know what it is. Ooh, that one got a lot of phthalo green that time. Remember that this one is supposed to be mostly alizarin, okay? Now we got a lot of the color mixed up at this point, which is exactly what we want. If you need more color, go ahead and get it. All right. Okay, so we got a little bit of this over here. And we can go ahead and recreate some things if we need to. Okay. Now right here, we need to create Abe's eyes. All right. And his cheekbone is going to go a little lower than I think this thing over here. All right. So we got that. We'll go over this way. Okay. And then right about here, yeah. There go his cheekbones. Looking more like LBJ than Abraham Lincoln at this point. I'll give it a few seconds. Give it a few seconds, I'll figure it out. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and we'll define his face. So okay. Okay. I think we're going to have to get out the liner brush now to finish all these little details. Okay. All right. Let's go in right here. Okay. Alright. Oh boy, that's creepy. I would not call that my finest work. Here, we need to get a gray on this. We need to take that down a notch, because that's too much. That's too much here. Look at this gray right here. That stony gray. And okay. Alright. Let's go ahead now and with our dark color, we'll go back in and redefine a few things. Okay. And we'll take it over this way. Right here is where I think the beard is going to end. So let's actually take it this way. Take it this way. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead here. And now let's go back into the dark color and see what we can do with some of this. Okay. Okay. Well, the thing about painting faces like this is, you know, you gotta get these features just right, especially on, figures that are kind of famous. Otherwise, it's not gonna look quite so great. Alright, so we'll go ahead and paint them there. Let's go ahead with a little bit more right here. See if we can capture that shape. That's starting to look a little bit more like Abe right there. Sometimes when you're painting faces, you'll notice that there's that one shape that if you capture it just right, you're going to get the whole thing going. Okay? So right about here. There. Okay. Okay. Right in here, we'll throw this gray down. Usually it's when you'll know you got a face right when all the elements tend to line up. And what I mean by that is, all the elements of the face will be right. And you'll notice that this figure that you're trying to paint suddenly starts looking like the person that you're trying to portray. And it's really a great feeling to be able to do that. And we'll, pardon my shadow, but we'll give Abe a little curve for his cheekbones right there. Yeah, that's probably going to work pretty well for him. Here. I really want to start painting the big stuff soon, so we're probably going to take a few more shortcuts than I would really like to take this episode, but shortcuts are going to get us where we need to go. Yep. Okay. Everyone's really going to be looking at these faces anyway, you know? Okay, let's get that guy right there and get this. Maybe we'll get a little bit of this right here. Okay. And then there's all kinds of stuff we can do. There's all kinds of little things we can do. I think what we want to do, what we really want to do, is concentrate on getting Honest Abe's nose just right. So we'll take his nose, pull it over this way. There. Yeah, he's starting to look a little bit more like Abe, isn't he? Yeah, he is a little bit. Take a little bit more of that gray that we mixed up. And yeah, that gray is starting to help him take form here. Alright. How much more should we really do on him? Well, let's give him a little bit of curve on his chin here. On his chin strap. You know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Abe, you are looking smart, my man. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else we necessarily want to do to the face. Well. You know me. Sometimes I obsess over these things. I want them to look just right. I want them to look just right so bad. So bad that, you know, sometimes we lose sight of the big picture. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to lose sight of the big picture. You know why I'm spending so much time on these guys? Because they're the focus of the painting. They're the focus of the painting, so everyone's going to be looking at them. You know, you see a painting about Mount Rushmore. You see a painting of Mount Rushmore. You kind of expect to see Mount Rushmore. That's pretty logical, right? Yeah, I'd say that makes pretty good sense. Okay. We'll go ahead and round that and give him a little bit of a stronger cheekbone here. Okay. And now let's think about our other stuff. Let's go ahead and put this brush down. Maybe we want to wipe it off a little bit. I don't know. Ooh, it's still got a lot of color on it, actually. Here, let's try that again. Little hummingbird. Okay. Well, let's go ahead now. And where's my little round? There's my little round. I need my little round right now. Here. Oh, I don't know if I cleaned them off. Well, we'll clean them off now. Okay. because we got stuff to do. Little round. Where are we gonna go next? A little round. I know where we're gonna go next. We're gonna go right here and get this little patch of doodads. Yeah, you know. Okay. Now up in here, we want to be sure to leave all the darkness near Abe's face alone, because there's going to be this little patch of darkness, like right in here. Yeah, we're going to leave that alone. Okay. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. You know who might also help us finish this painting soon? Filbert. I think you guys met Filbert. I think you met Filbert last episode. Because Filbert was really doing some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Filbert. Filbert is one of your best friends, whether you believe it or not. He's got a funny sounding name, but boy, he loves to help out. Okay. Yeah, you just take that paint and you drag it down. You just drag it down. We're going any old place right now. Any old place. Okay. All right, Filbert. Let's go ahead and get you into action. Okay. Now, Filbert here is the most versatile brush on the palette. Did you know that? Did you know that? Oh, I don't know if you did. Here, we're just gonna. I don't know how much you know about Mount Rushmore, but Washington's really the only one who has all of his clothes, carved out for him on the rock. I thought that was pretty interesting when I learned that. Okay. And Lincoln's hair here kind of just blends in with the rest of the rock. All right. It's funny how that works. Yeah, we'll just go over this way. Maybe he's got some things that go down in here. And I don't know. We're doing this a lot like the palette knife, where we're just kind of touching things and letting them go where they will. Now that we've got the presidents painted, we have carte blanche to do whatever we want. It's great. Okay. And you can build this up in layers if you feel like it. Maybe it changes direction over there and kind of goes down this way. Yeah. Maybe it goes down to here and kind of tapers off itself. Tapers off, and all those light colors kind of just fade away. And down in here, maybe we got, some more stuff happening. Maybe, I know. Maybe we're kind of missing a little bit of the shape of Washington over here, but you know what? Whatever. And I keep telling you, don't be afraid if you run out of some colors, because you can always go back in. And maybe over here there's like a little bit of, an orangey kind of color. Oh boy, we need to do something with this. Let's get a little bit of that chrome yellow. Ooh, got a hair in the paint. Hair alert. Come on, get off there. Get off my brush, you devil. You aren't ruining this painting. There it goes. That's the silliest thing that happens. Okay. Alright. Now we can use a little bit more white. And a little bit more yellow. A little bit more white on that. There it goes. A little bit more yellow. Okay. And if it's not exactly the same color, whatever. We can add some more yellow to that if we need to. If you need to, why not? There. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Maybe. Maybe some of these things in here are going down this way. And maybe Washington's little cropping here is kind of just dragging itself down over here. There it goes. And it goes all the way down to this little piece of rock right here. There. It's fascinating. Alright. Now we can, well, now I can pull off some more paint and, you know, kind of just fiddle around with this. There it goes. There it goes. Alright. Okay. There we go. There. Just drag it down and, you know, leave some spots wherever. Wherever. Yeah, don't throw away everything on your palette. Filbert has a tendency to pick up lots and lots of color. He also has a tendency to form himself into a little point at the end, which makes him really nice for doing big areas. And then going back and doing small details. He's very useful that way. Oh, Filbert, you are some brush. Okay. Well, we showed him his boss. Let's go ahead now and take this color, and, you know, all the little areas where that color didn't quite work out here, we can just bang these in. Yeah. See? Yeah, we'll just bang these in right over here. And maybe there it goes. Okay. Any spot where you see some color that doesn't quite match up with, or a color that does match up with these presidents here, go ahead and throw it in this little gray here, because we got some other stuff that we're going to paint in those little areas, but you know, we also got a lot of stuff that needs to go down in here. Okay, yeah, right in here. Now be sure you leave a lot of these dark areas here, because these are going to help define a lot of the things that are happening in here. Alright, over here. Now the presidents kind of just blend into Mount Rushmore, so if you're confused about how to paint them, that's kind of what happens here. They're kind of just blending in. They kind of just go into it, so wherever the fine details end, that's where all these little things and with the mountains and stuff happen. All right, that's how you do it. That's really how you do it. All right, now I can take a little bit more. Well, I can take a smidge of the alizarin there and some of the chrome yellow. And you know what we can do? We can take some of this white here. We don't have to take a lot. We can actually, well, we can take even more chrome yellow than that, and maybe a touch of the alizarin. Okay. And you want a little bit of white on that. Okay. And then we can bang in a couple of more little things right here, like, ooh, you know, maybe you got some of these colors in here that are really, really describing here. Let's get this. Yeah, some of these colors really describe the vibe that we want to go for up in these mountains with all these fun colors. There's a lot of fun oranges in here. A lot of unexpected oranges, you know? Yeah, no joke. Okay. Yeah, right in there. Okay. Now down below, we can go ahead and take a little bit of the alizarin and some of that chrome yellow. Yeah, we want mostly chrome yellow on this, I think. Yeah, so get a lot more chrome yellow in that. I think that's enough. All right, you want a little bit of white on that too. Okay, so now what's going to happen here is, well, there's a little bit. Okay, oops. There's a little bit of this curve going here. What's happening is, you know, these things are kind of describing the underneath of this. Maybe. There it goes. There it goes. And, you know, maybe right around here. You got more color that kind of happens here. Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's more. Maybe there's more of this light color that happens in there. And maybe, ooh, look at that. We'll go over here with this orange color now. And maybe we're describing some other things that are happening in here. Like, maybe we got this. Okay. Yep. Maybe that's happening. All right. Okay. Now it's looking pretty spiffy, huh? Yeah, I'll say. Here, let's not lose all that color. Don't lose it all. Okay. Let's go ahead with this light color again. And maybe down here, I don't know. Maybe this color is going in here. And we got some more of the rock formation showing. Yeah. You can do this with a palette knife too if you want. I'm just doing it with Filbert because it seems like he moves a lot faster. And that's really, well, that's really what I'm going for right now, I guess. Okay. Yeah, maybe there's a little ridge in here where... Yeah, maybe there's that ridge right there, and maybe that kind of just gets... Maybe there's a little bit of this orange right here on this other side, right there. Yeah, all kinds of colors. All kinds of wacky colors. Okay. Show him who's boss. Wipe him down. And now with this gray color. Ooh, this gray color. Maybe we'll get a little bit more blue on it. Maybe we'll get a little bit more blue on this. Yeah, that looks sweet. Yeah, I'm loving that. Okay. Now we get a little bit more of that and more of this. mix this with our dark color a little bit, huh? See what happens then. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There it goes. A little bit more of the dark color on that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take some. Take some of this white right here. And, well, actually that works pretty well. Let's go ahead right here now and create this separation. There. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. That's how easy it is. You just smack the brush right up against the canvas like that. The filbert can do these things. The filbert is one of the greatest brushes, I tell you. And I don't know, do I want a chance going in here? I don't know. I think I'll leave that. I don't want to fiddle around with our moneymaker right there, so to speak. Okay. Now down in here, we're going to have a few extra things going on, okay? So let's go ahead with some dark color now. Okay. All right. Let's take the big palette knife. We'll smear that right in that pile right there, because that's a lot of bright color that we need. Let's take a rag. I know what we need to do. We need to cover the rest of this picture with this dark color that we used for the beginning. Man, this is kind of like a big picture full of mountains, right? Yeah, I know. It's not the easiest picture, but it's a picture I have a lot of fun with. Okay, we want this to have a lot of ultramarine and alizarin in it, and just a little bit of the phthalo. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to smear this all over by the time we're done with this. Okay. Alright. Okay. There's going to be a big old mound going right up this way. Big old pile of rocks. Big old pile of rocks going over here. Yep. Yeah. It's going to go all the way up to here. In fact, we can make it a little higher even. And we can take that and do that way. Yep. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Now, like I say, we can brush this out too. And that's just what we're going to do. Let's set the palette down and get a brush. We're using a 1-inch here, and let's brush this out and get everything recorded just the way we want. Okay, so we're going to go in here, and yep, going to be a bunch of stuff happening right here, just the way we planned. Okay. That's all we're doing. We're smoothing this out. Bring all this color down, because maybe we don't want too much color. All right. There it goes. There it goes. There. Now we got a big old mound up here. that's fun. Smooth it all out. You don't want this to be thick paint. No, you just want that to be on there. Okay? Alright, alright. So now we can go ahead and set that brush aside. And I'm going to go ahead and clean off my knife. Because I already know what I want to do. I already know what's coming next now. I'm going to take some of this color here. And I'm going to I'm just going to throw that down in there. Okay. And now we can go ahead and, well, maybe let's create something with a little bit more subdued. Okay. Now let's go in here. Okay. Well, I got that. Let's go ahead now. Wipe off the knife. I'm going to take that same old gray we've been using, and pop that right here. Okay. Okay, right in there. And if you get a little bit more color in there, you know, whatever. Just makes it a little bit more interesting, right? Right. Trying to get all those places, all those nooks and crannies in there that you missed the first time. Don't leave a lot of stones in here showing. Actually, go ahead and leave a lot of stones. Yeah, there's lots of little pebbles and all that. Yeah, that looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Now we're going to go over the other way here. We're going to go over the other way. And since the light is kind of hitting down from overhead, we'll take some of this and just, you know, kind of start up here and way, you know. We'll go down here, just like that, and then over this way. All right, over there, and okay, and maybe we'll go over here. Ooh, we got a little bit of a hair. Oh boy, that's already checked off in the bingo card. So, if you got that one checked off, too late. Because we already got it. Alright, get some more of that. We got enough of the chrome yellow here to last us a little while. Let's go ahead now and get some of that lizard in there. And then, you know what's next. We're going to add that. Oops. We're going to add that. And then we're going to throw this. Oh, I don't know. Oh boy, we got another hair. Come on. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's just pull out the white now. And I'll make it a little easier now to get that. Let's get a little bit more yellow in there, huh? Yeah, we want a lot of that yellow, a lot of it. We don't have much white left, so we should be careful. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, look how much color we just whipped up. We'll be all right. Yeah. See, like I say, if you whip up too much color one place or another, just keep going with it. You'll be all right. Okay. let that color express what you're feeling. There you go. There it goes. That big old mound right there. There you go. There's that mound. Alright, so now that we got that, we will clean off the knife and get some of our gray color. And right here, you know what's next. You know what's coming next. We get some of that in here. If you need to mix up a little bit more of that gray color, go for it. Alright, here, take a little bit of the alizarin and a little bit of the mud, add some white, and you got it. Add some blue in it too. Yeah, that blue really spruces it up. Okay. There you go. If you want, you can add a little bit of yellow too, just to dull it down. That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, it's about the same color, right? Yeah. It might be a little different, but it's alright. Still looks a little snappier than what we were using. And it's not so different that it ruins everything. Nope. Okay. Right in here. Look for all those little nooks and crannies and stuff, and the usual suspects for filling in all these areas. Imagine all these little rough spots that you see are just like little stones hanging out. All right. Yeah, it's looking cool. Okay. Maybe we don't have to worry too much about a lot more of this. This is looking good, I think. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead now and just set this aside. Yeah, we'll just take these brushes and put them aside over here, because I think they might have done all their duties for today. Okay, so let's get our 1-inch brush now. Yeah. Okay, and that's there just so we need it. Just in case we need it, I should say. I think the color that we are going to need our fan brush. So let's go ahead now and pull some of our dark transparent colors here. All right. Pull down the ultramarine, the alizarin crimson, and the phthalo green, and we'll just just like that. Maybe we've got a whole forest up here, Maybe they're kind of just growing all over the place here. Maybe they're growing all over. I know, we've got lots of trees here, don't we? Yeah, we do. Okay. Now, when you paint these trees like this, you want to remember to try to get them darker at the top, or at the bottom than at the top, I should say. All right? And then, I don't know. Not all trees are all perfect and all that. Maybe they're a little crooked. They kind of go all the way up this. They go all the way up this hill right here. They're growing on this rock despite it being so lousy. Maybe we got this rock right up here. Not this rock, but this tree. Yeah, I'm talking funny, huh? A little bit. Just some more of the dark color. Okay. Alright. There we go. We'll go ahead and put that guy in right there. Let's see, let's just go ahead and put the one right there. Maybe we got a whole bunch of bushes and things right now. Okay. And we'll keep pulling as much color as we need to until we get all these trees lined up. Maybe we got little ones right here. And we got them right here. Maybe we got another little one right in there. Okay. Maybe we got one little bush right there. Struggling to keep in with the crowd. Yeah. Got this one right here. Okay. There it goes. And right in here, we'll have a few of these trees like this. All right. Pull a little bit more of the ultramarine out, and the phthalo green and the alizarin, and there it goes. Okay, and maybe up here. Okay. They kind of just follow the curve, you know? Yeah, I'm sure you've noticed by now. But it really is uncanny the way they just follow the curve. Man, that's wild to me. I cannot believe that. Oh boy. Sometimes nature is real interesting. Okay. And, there's going to be a couple down here. We'll keep getting those colors that we're using. And we'll put one right here. And there's one right here too. Alright. They kind of just grow in these little valleys. They grow in these little valleys and they do as they please. And maybe he's got himself a little friend next door right there. And over here, I got that. Over here, and maybe right here. Okay. There we go. All right. That's good. All right. Okay. just touching up a couple of things right here. All right, that's probably good enough. Let's go ahead and rinse that brush off. Okay. Little hummingbird. All right. That brush we can set aside for right now, because that fan brush is donezo. It's done way too much work. Let's go right here and get us some of that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got us a hair in the paint. Got us a hair. Oh no. Not again. Dear. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll just go ahead here and get us some of this chrome yellow. And we'll mix it with a little bit of the color we've been using. That dark color there. Okay? So it doesn't get any funny ideas about getting too bright. Okay. I even added a little bit of alizarin. Yeah. If you guess that, you guess right. I'm really loading this brush up. You might want to go ahead and just get a little touch of that odorless turpentine. Okay. So now when we make our decisions here, alright. There's gonna be one right there. And maybe we got one guy right here and one right in here. Alright. And we got this fellow right here. He's getting a little low. The fan brush is getting a little low on the paint. So now we'll go ahead now and score some more of these. Oops, we don't have to get paint with every stroke here. I think that's one thing to remember. Sometimes it's okay to leave the darks showing. See how I leave the darks a lot? Yeah, you want to try to leave a lot of darks showing when you do this. Like when you get a guy like that and maybe you run out of paint, so you flip this over. Okay. Maybe you want to go in here and start getting this. Alright. And you got that, so you get this one next. Alright. And you don't want to go ahead and try to hit them too much. Alright. You kind of just start at the top and you press harder as you go down. And depending how you want to depict something as you go up here, you can get more color or you can leave out some color. So maybe you want to leave out some stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Okay. All right. Maybe this one over here is looking okay. There he goes. Alright. And one over here too. Maybe we'll turn this one over. Okay. And right in here, paint a few things there. Maybe we'll just do a little bit of a thing on that one. Yeah. Go over here. And get some more yellow on this brush. We already got a lot of yellow on it. But we'll get some more. Okay. Over here. sometimes you want to leave it blank a little bit, okay? Okay. There's that one. And here's this one right here. Yep, that's how we notate that. Or, well, that's how we depict it. Okay. Now we'll go up here. Get that little tree. Okay. And now we'll get this little tree right in front of him. Okay. Alright. Okay. And now we'll get these guys over here. And maybe leave this one out. Get this one. And this one right here. Okay. And maybe we'll just get a few things over here for good measure. There. Okay. There it goes. There it goes. Alright, I think we can about call this one finished. So let me just rinse off this old fan brush here, because he's done the Lord's work on wrapping this painting up. Let me take care of that right there. Let's wipe it off. Alright, let's get out the liner brush and take a color that we didn't use all that much of this episode. Take some of that vermilion and get it nice and runny. You want to use a lot of turpentine on that. And then we'll just sign the name, S.K. And that's how we know it's done. Well, I really hope that you had a lot of fun with this episode. It's very challenging. If you decide to give this one a try for yourself, take your time, breathe deeply, and just take your time. I'm really emphasizing that, but I can't emphasize it enough. Take your time and you'll enjoy yourself, because doing these faces like this is very hard. It's very challenging, and it's something we're going to be practicing a lot more of soon. But for now, I'm afraid I have to leave you. So until next time, this concludes the second season of this show. Until then, well, I'll see you next season. With love from me to you. Bye-bye.